Hey, 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 what's going on, people? What is going on? I am back with another installment of my movie collection library shelves overview series. Last one I did was back in October, and now today with the shelf number 11. It is past 8 p.m. here in Quebec, which means we are under a curfew from 8 p.m. to 5 a.m. to combat the COVID. With this latest tactic, they all imprison us in our houses until early in the morning. So will it work? Who knows? But you know, we gotta roll with it, so it's all good. All right, without further ado, let's start it up with shelf number 11. All right. First up being One False Move, a crime movie from 1991. It's a detective thriller, as they say. The only thing I remember from this was that, in fact, Siskel and Ebert gave them 2 thumbs up. I think that was their favorite movie of that year. Bill Paxton, my man's in there, Billy Bob Thornton, one of his first movies. I've yet to see it. I feel like I've been keeping it for like 20, 30 years for a special occasion. I don't know, but I can't wait to watch One False Move. Then we have One Good Cop, another 1991 movie with Michael Keaton playing, you guessed it, a cop. This is the movie he did right after Batman. No, that's not true. He did Pacific Heights, and then he did this one. It's a middle of the road movie. It does what it's supposed to do, you know. But there you go. Up next we have On Back, the Thai warrior. Tony Jaa, I believe was one of his first big movies that put him on the map. Right here. Again, big action movie fan. I have not seen On Back. What is wrong with me? I'll get on that right away. Up next, we have Only God Forgives. This is the movie Nicholas Winding referenced right after Drive. This was another one of those movies, like either you love it or hate it. I actually loved it. I love the atmosphere of it, the fact that it was shot, I believe, in Thailand. Kristen Scott Thomas playing Ryan Gosling's mom in the movie is fucking nuts. She's incredible. The villain in this, utterly insane as well. A great soundtrack, like as he does with what's his face. I'm missing his name right now, but you know who I'm talking about. But I think it's a great movie, worth checking back again if you haven't. So there you go. Only God Forgives. Up next, Opportunity Knocks. Dana Carvey, right in his Saturday Night Live prime. A small little comedy. I've watched it many a time as a kid. I do remember. There you go. Opportunity Knocks. Then we have Orca, the Killer Whale, the Umbrella Entertainment version. I know Scream Factory released their own, I think, was it like a year later or something? But, Killer Whale movie. In the vein of Jaws, I think one of the best things about this thing is probably the score from Ennio Morricone. It's fine, you know. Richard Harris is okay in this. So there you go, Orca. Then we have Osmosis Joan. I believe this was directed by the Farrelly brothers. I think this was one of the last movies they did with like the Looney Tunes with with humans in the movie. And then what's coming up is Space Jam 2, obviously with what's his face, forgetting his name. But yeah, it's all right. I got it because Bill Murray's in it, and that's about it. So there you go. Up next, Oss Sunset, Le Caire Ni d'Espion. Oss Sunset is a French spy comedy spoof from France. It stars Jean Dujardin. You might best know him as the dude in The Artist, where he won his Oscar back in, was it 2011, I believe? This is pretty much the French version of James Bond. It was based on books, kind of like James Bond from the 50s, 60s, 70s. There was a sequel that came out of this in 2000, 1989, which was Oss Sunset, Rio ne répond plus. And then 12 years later, coming out in April, will be the third entry called Alerte Rouge en Afrique Noire, which means Red Alert in Black Africa. I cannot wait for this. These are my favorite kind of movies. Jean Dujardin, I think that's his best role. I think he's mostly known for this, at least in France, you know. The Artist. Who remembers seeing The Artist? But if you haven't seen it, there's I think they've dubbed them in English. So if you're into like, Austin Powers and stuff like that, you would totally dig Oss Sunset. Then we have Other People's Money. This also came out in 1991. One of my favorite comedies from Norman Jewison. Danny DeVito. He plays Larry the Liquidator. So basically, he buys companies just to, slash them and just sells them into parts. And then he meets his a worthy adversary in Penelope Ann Miller. And it's a small little fun movie, it's pretty good. It's pretty good. Other People's Money. Then we have The Others, Nicole Kidman, A Ghost Story from, I believe, 1999. I have yet to see this, although I know what the ending is, so I don't know if I want to check it out. But, there you go. Then we have Out for Justice, Steven Seagal. That's right. This one also came in 1991. It's a big year for me. That's my like movie year when I discovered everything. It's about he goes on a revenge path to avenge his partner's death, and this movie was at the tail end of his career where he made good movies. So basically 88, Above the Law, 1990, Hard to Kill and Marked for Death, 91, Out for Justice, and then 92, the big one, Under Siege. This one is also known for a couple of quotes. Anybody seen Richie? Anybody know what Richie did? Bobby Lupo? Bobby Lupo! That's the big quote from the movie. Always cracks me up when I hear it. But it's Steven Seagal at his prime. So there you go. Then we have Out for Justice. Out for Justice? I just said that. Out of Sight. There you go. George Clooney, Jennifer Lopez, Steven Soderbergh, probably my favorite movie of his. My favorite movie Jennifer Lopez has been in. It's an Elmer Leonard book. It's based on this. Came out a couple years after Pulp Fiction. Albert Brooks in this, Dennis Farina, Don Cheadle, Ving Rhames. Hell of a cast. If you haven't seen it, worth checking out. It's very, very good. Then we have Sean Connery in Outland, May He Rest in Peace, one of his few sci-fi movies he did. I've yet to see it. Peter Iam did this, very well known as an action movie director. Jerry Goldsmith did the score, so I have to find the score for that one. Then we have some Canon film with Over the Top. Stallone, that's the only movie he did with Canon Films. They paid him a shitload of money to be in this one. I think it was like 6 or 7 million. A movie about wrestling. The World Wrestling Champion, Arm Wrestling Championship in Over the Top. A movie about arm wrestling, only in the 80s. It's about a father and son going on the road, and he compete in arm wrestling. Sylvester Stallone. So there you go, Over the Top. The movie I mentioned earlier, funny enough, Pacific Heights, where Michael Keaton plays a creep, moves into a house, rents the downstairs or the upstairs, I can't remember which, and he just wreaks a havoc in the lives of the couple, Melanie Griffith and Matthew Modine. It's very good, very creepy. If you haven't seen it. Then we have The Package, Gene Hackman, Tommy Lee Jones, right here. Andrew Davis. This is the movie he did, I want to say, right before Under Siege. And I have yet to see it, but I love Andrew Davis, so I want to check it out right here. Then I have the slim case version of Panic Room, Super Bit. I think that's my only one in the collection. Jodie Foster, David Fincher. It's one of those that's like really under talked about in his filmography. I feel like I don't even think there's a Blu-ray release yet. I feel like there's not. I don't know why, but there should be. And Jodie Foster in an action movie, quote unquote. So there you go. My God, it's the Michael Keaton Marathon Festival, The Paper. Fun little movie, directed by Ron Howard, Glenn Close, Randy Quaid, before he went crazy, Robert Duvall, Marissa Tomei. So basically he plays a journalist at a New York paper, and that's the whole movie. It's about their lives and getting that next scoop. So yeah, there you go. More Tommy Lee Jones with The Park Is Mine. My man Yaphet Kotto is in this as well. So like a Vietnam veteran, he's tired of being, shit on by people, and he takes Central Park hostage, and that's the whole movie. Very improbable movie. It's borderline on science fiction, but why not? It's Tommy Lee Jones. He's always good in anything, and this is one of those, came out in 85 right there. This was a blind buy. The Passage, Anthony Quinn, James Mason, Christopher Lee, Malcolm McDowell. I believe it's about, I want to say like some sort of heist, perhaps. World War II adventure drama. So that's what it is. I really got it for the cast. And I must say probably the artwork, because I look at this and I say, oh man, I gotta buy this, because I do that a lot. So there you go. Up next, we have Passenger 57. I think there's a Blu-ray of this, or if there is, it's like from early the 2010s or something, 2012. Die Hard on a Plane. Always Bet on Black. And the Bruce Payne playing the bad guy on this. It's a fun little thriller. It's okay. It's in the middle of all the Die Hard on a kind of movies, and he's pretty good in this. Then we have Mel Gibson in Payback, a revenge movie, Vengeance. There you go, right here. Then we have one of my favorite comedies of the 90s, PCU. Came out in 94. Portchester University, or, Politically Correct University. Basically just a take on how politically correctness was just take it to an absurd point. And it's about, it's about campus craziness, like they say, and it's about the pit and outlaw fraternity houses. That's what I was trying to get at. It's pretty funny. Jeremy Piven, I think it was like in mid-20s, and already looking like he's 40 with his wig on. There was David Spade in this. It's one of Favreau's first movie, yeah. It's pretty good. And it needs a Blu-ray. It doesn't have one. Then we have Perfect Strangers, one of the latest Vinegar Syndrome releases. I got this on Black Friday. This is a Larry Cohen movie right here. I love Larry Cohen. May he rest in peace. I think it's one of the last movies I didn't have of him. There's a couple more that needs to be released, but I'm pretty much up to everything I have. It was great to see him at Fantasia Film Festival. They did a tribute to him. I was there. It was really awesome. I got to talk to him just a little bit, and he's a great, great man. Again, like I say, may he rest in peace. Up next, bam, Pet Sematary, Stephen King. They did the remake here in Montreal. I haven't seen it yet. Don't plan to, so there you go. Up next, Phantom Paradise, a steelbook. I have so many steelbooks, but I've stopped buying them a couple years ago because, yeah. But yeah, fun little musical from the 70s right here. This is Phobia, John Huston, Paul Michael Glaser, Susan Hogan, shot here in Canada. I don't know if you can include it in the Ken-exploitation genre, but it came out in 1980, and there you go. How about some Andy Sidaris with Picasso Trigger? This one came out in, I believe, what was it, 1990 something? It's one of the latter ones. I'm missing like 3 or 4, and then I'll have the whole series of films. Thank you to Mill Creek for releasing them all. Probably the best releases from last year or the year before. Then we have the remake of Piranha. Probably one of the best remakes they've done in the horror movies. This was, that goes on at the top, really. It's really, really, really good. It's Alejandra Haja that did this one. And then the sequel that's not as good, but it's fine. Piranha Double D. So there you go, right here. Then we have Jack Hill and Pit Stop. The Crashorama, the most dangerous game ever devised. Pitman against man, flesh against steel. The Figure 8 Race 8. I think this movie did right before Coffee and Foxy Brown. So there you go, right here. Classic Thanksgiving movie, Plane, Trains, and Automobile. John Hughes Films, Steve Martin, John Candy. Don't have to talk too much about it. The Player from Robert Altman. That was a big movie, came out back in 92. A take on the Hollywood scene, how movies were made. Tim Robbins really popped in this one. I think this is probably in his top 3 of performances. He's so good in this, so good. So yeah, there you go. John Singleton, Poetic Justice, Janet Jackson, mostly known for the performance by Tupac Shakur. And yeah, there you go. Poetic Justice. One of my favorite from, again, 1991, Point Break, Patrick Swayze, Keanu Reeves. Still kicking ass to this day at 55. But back then, he did this, then what was it, like Speed, a couple of years later. Great fucking movie. Catherine Bigelow right here. Then we have the remake of La Femme Nikita, Point of No Return, Bridget Fonda, who stopped acting probably, was it 10 years ago? She's married to Danny Elfman for all these years, but it was all right. It was an okay remake. John Badham did it. Then we have Poltergeist. I have the DVD. I should probably upgrade at some point to a Blu-ray because, classic. Pootie Tang! Pootie Tang, which started out, I believe, as a sketch on the Chris Rock show. And this is written and directed by Louis C.K., who's been canceled. It's kind of like a surreal blaxploitation comedy movie that was made in 2001. You don't understand a word the main character is saying. I think what he speaks in pidgin, like his word is sadate. He keeps saying that all over, constantly during the movie. It's a terrible movie, but it's worth seeing because it's so terrible. So there you go. We have Posse, a Mario Van Peebles joint western. There you go, right here. How about some Code Red with The Power? This also was a blind buy, and can't wait to check it out at some point. And then, obviously Predator 2, yeah, here, Predators, right here, which, what was it directed by? He has some weird name. Nimrod Antal. What has he done lately? But yeah, all the Predator movies, I need an upgrade. I need to go to Blu-ray. Predator 2 I've rewatched recently, and it still holds up. I feel like this was was underrated. When it came out, the critics really were not for it, but I totally loved it when I saw it back in 1990. That's right, I am that old. Up next, another movie I saw at Fantasia, Predestination, Ethan Hawke. A Spirig Brothers film. They also did right after that vampire movie. I'm blanking on the name right now. But, oh man, this movie, it takes you on to places like you don't know what the hell is going on. There's a really trippy ending. I feel like this movie's been forgotten about. So, if you want a good sci-fi movie, Predestination is it. We have the Presidio with sexy Mark Harmon and then Sean Connery right here. Peter Iam. Oh, I didn't remember we did this, but yes, Peter Iam. Then we have The Prestige, the Christopher Nolan movie with Hugh Jackman, Christian Bale. This was in direct competition with The Illusionist that came out, I remember, the same year. I saw both. I feel like this one is the better one, I want to say, but I would have to rewatch them. But yeah, Prestige right here. Some John Carpenter with Prince of Darkness. I really need an upgrade. I need to get the Scream Factory. Actually, there's a sale right now that started yesterday. Shout Factory, Scream Factory, all the John Carpenter's titles. I think they're like half off. So if you're missing a couple Blu-rays in your collection for John Carpenter, might as well buy them now. Good deals. The Princess Bride, Rob Reiner. There we go. Another movies from the 80s I saw a lot on Montreal TV on a Sunday afternoon. The Principal, James Belushi, Lou Gossett Jr. And you guessed it, he plays a school principal. And on the campus, there's a whole punks and hooligans, and he has to deal with them. So there you go, right here. Then we have The Prophecy, starring Christopher Walken, who plays the Archangel Gabriel. Comes back down to Earth to do some shenanigans. I've only seen the first one. There's 4 of them. There's Prophecy 2 right here. There's Prophecy 3, The Ascent. Is there 4? I don't know if there's a 4th one. I feel like there is, but there might be not. So there you go, right there. Up next, we have The Public Eye, which is Joe Pesci, Barbara Hershey. This was directed by Howard Franklin, and Howard Franklin, I will always love him because he did the movie Quick Change with Bill Murray. An awesome, awesome comedy. If you haven't seen it, I would urge you to do so. This is basically, pretty much he plays a 40s tabloid photographer. He's always on the scene. He's always the first one taking snapshots of like gangland murders. And it's pretty much, we see him on his journey. And he tries to help out Barbara Hershey's character, and that gets him into trouble. So it's a fun little movie. Then we have Pulp Fiction. Again, I wonder if they're ever going to release like a really good version of this, like maybe on Criterion or something like that, because I'd like to upgrade at some point. That would be nice. Then we have Pulse. I think I bought this for like $5 back in a couple years ago from Mill Creek. I don't know what it's about. That was a blind buy. What is it about? Tell me what it's about. Then we have, Bump Up the Volume. Christian Slater. They've just announced Warner Archive. They're going to release the Blu-ray next month. There's no extras of any kind. It's just a new transfer. So I think I'm going to stick with my DVD. It'll be all right. Probably one of Christian Slater's finest performance. And it is written and directed by Alan Moyle. And Alan Moyle is a Montrealer, a movie director from right here in Quebec. So there you go. Arnold, Pumping Iron, the 25th anniversary special edition. I mean, that's what started it all right here for Arnold, Pumping Iron. Iron. Then we have Rad. That's right, I got the Rad. I bought it the second it went on pre-order from Vinegar Syndrome. Look at this cool, cover right here. Lenticula, and the other side right here. It's a fun little BMX movie from the 80s. And it's at 4K. I don't even have 4K. I don't have the 4K player. I have a 4K TV. But I paid quite a lot of money for this, and I'm glad I did, because it's hella sold out. But I believe, is it I want to say it's Mill Creek, or I can't remember the label, but they're releasing another version of it. So if you missed out on this one, you will be able to buy the next release coming out. So, First Blood, Rambo the series. Again, another thing where I need probably a Blu-ray upgrade. First Blood, the first one, the best one in this series, directed by Ted Kutcheff, who again I saw at Fantasia presenting the movie. They gave him the Lifetime Achievement Award of some kind, and it was real nice meeting him. So there you go, First Blood, the first one. We got Rambo 2 right here, and then we have Rambo 3. There you go. I still need to buy Rambo 4. I haven't seen Rambo 5. I was planning on, and then I saw the reviews, and it's like, you know what, I think 4 pretty much ends the thing pretty well, so I'm gonna stick with that. Then we have Rapid Fire, Brandon Lee, Powers Booth, probably the movie right before The Crow that I want to say put him on the map, but we got to know him a little bit. It's a fine little movie right here. Rapid Fire. Some more canon with Rappin', Mario Van Peebles. It's fresh, says the Village Voice, and I agree. It's very fresh. Directed by Joel Silberg, who's pretty much the on-call director for any canon movies that involves hip-hop, break-in and all that stuff. It's fine. It's canon. What do you expect? Then I got Raw Courage, Ronnie Cox, Art Hindle, Mehmet Walsh, who plays the bad guy in this one. It's about runners that gets hassled by villains in the desert for no apparent reason. It is written by Ronnie Cox, who, Ronnie Cox being in Beverly Hills Cop, RoboCop, playing probably the best villains in the 80s, and he wrote this movie, Raw Courage, right here. Then we have Raw Deal, Schwarzenegger, one of his lesser talked about movies. I only saw this a couple years ago. It's pretty much middle of the road kind of movie. There you go, Raw Deal. Another Raw film, and it is Raw Force, One Blow, the Death Blow. It is amazing. Probably my favorite Vinegar Syndrome release. It's about facing flesh-ripping kung fu fighting zombies. And this movie is just all over the place, and you got Cameron Mitchell in this. Automatically, when you have Cameron Mitchell in any 80s movie, it is a great movie. So says I. So there you go. We have Raw Meat right here, 70s horror movie, directed by Gary Sherman. Again, another one of those Fantasia regulars. There you go, Raw Meat. Another fun comedy from the 80s, Real Genius. Look at this ugly ass cover. Photoshop on overtime. Why not use the real artwork? I don't know. Directed by Marta Coolidge. Probably one of Val Kilmer's funnier movies. You all remember the scene at the end with the popcorn in the house. Real Genius right here. One of my favorite all-time comedy director, Albert Brooks, with his first movie, Real Life, right here. There we go. Then we have The Real McCoy, Kim Basinger, again, Val Kilmer. This came out in '92, directed by Russell Mulcahy. He's known for the Highlander movies. She plays like a bank robber. This movie's been totally forgotten about. Almost done. We got Real Men, James Belushi, John Ritter. That's another one of those really odd movies from the 80s, right here. Then I have the special limited edition of Reanimator. Got lucky enough to snag myself a copy. It is amazing. Look at this, all that content right here. Classic 80s horror movie, of course. We get the Jeffrey Combs in this. I love this edition. Probably one of my favorite Arrow video releases. Right there. Then we have Red Dawn, the OG version. We've been going through some crazy shit the last 4 years. This was already crazy back Like, what was it, like 84, 85? I want to 84. And we've gone through some crazier shit than Red Dawn by now. So this is quaint compared to what we've been through. There you go. Some more Arnold with Red Heat, playing a Russian cop or spy. I can't remember which. But yeah, there you go, Red Heat. Another critically acclaimed thriller from the early 90s, Red Rock West. Nicolas Cage, Dennis Hopper, Lauren Flynn Boyle, John Dahl, who did this one. What year was this? I think it was 92, 91, 92. But yeah, another thriller I've yet to see. Maybe I'll do a double bill with Red Rock West and One False Move. That would be great. Another Arrow release, Dolph Lundgren in Red Scorpion. This was funded by, what's his face? Something like he was in politics, and that's like the only movie he's ever done. But again, it's another one where he plays a Red Scorpion, like a Russian intelligent, a spy, whatever. A killing machine, a skilled agent from Russia whose brutal efficiency and single-minded determination to serve the motherland leaves behind a trail of battered bodies and bloodied enemies. So yeah, there you go, Red Scorpion. Another great comedy from the 90s, The Ref, Dennis Leary, Judy Davis, Kevin Spacey, Ted Demme, who directed this. Ted Demme and Dennis Leary were really a real close working duo, and it's probably my favorite Dennis Leary performance right here. That and Judgment Night. They're equal in my mind. And then finally, the last title, my God, Remo, The Adventure Begins. There was supposed to be like a whole series of these movies, but they end up just making the one with Fred Willard and Joel Grey in makeup playing an Asian, whatever it was. I can't remember. Is a mentor named Cheon, a Korean master of the martial arts. That's right. And it's a fun little 80s action movie. You know, it has its moments. So there you go. Remo, The Adventure Begins. And that is it. My God, this went so long. For shelf number 11. If you're still here, thank you for watching. More of this will be coming soon. I'm actually thinking of doing live streaming on the YouTube. So, you know, why not? Just want to hear me ramble like I just did? Then come on over. This should be at the end of January, beginning of February. So there you go. I wave to you as well, people. I saw your comments and I wave to you as well. So thank you for watching, and I'll see you later. Bye-bye now.